Hello, my crafty friends. I had a couple of people ask about sewing a zipper onto, using envelopes to make a zipper pouch. And I did that. And I used two envelopes that I had already glued together in here. And, and I had already glossed them up. I just put out a video um, yesterday about that. My homemade Mod Podge stuff. Um, anyway, when I was doing this, I sewed it on one side, and then I could not figure out how to sew it on the other side because it even if you have it, well, let me just show you. If you have it sewn on this side, and even if you open up the zipper over here, this is all connected together. And unless you have one of those little arm things, that's not going to sew. Um, so I did that, and so I went ahead and just glued the back of it, and it's working fine just to glue it. So you could do this whole thing just with glue, or you could sew one side and then sew around it and glue the back if your envelopes are put together like mine are. And but you could also use two envelopes that you have not put together and sew it on one side and then sew the other side on and then glue them together. And that way you could sew the whole thing. And I started to show you that, but I wasn't going to show you the sewing part anyway because I can't get my camera to where my sewing machine is. And the sewing machine, it's old. It weighs 100 pounds. I can't move it to where my camera is. So, and it's really loud. It's a really old, loud machine. So I just decided that rather than showing you how to do that, if you know how to sew and you take two envelopes that are not already glued together, you can sew one to one side of your zipper. And you could sew the zipper inside if you want to too, but that looks too much like normal sewing. I kind of like this look. So I would sew it on the outside of this one, and then I would take another one that's not attached here, and I would sew the other side to that. And then I would put it all together, and you can stitch up the sides, or you could do like I did on this one and stitch all the way around, even though the bottom is, already glued together. You could do that. But I decided a lot of people don't sew. They don't have a sewing machine, but they might still want to do this. And since the gluing did work, even if I only did it on the back, I'm going to try gluing one together from the front and the back. Now, I'm going to leave this apart on the sides for now. Let me show you. I think you know how to put two envelopes together like this, but let me just show you so that we can have shown you all the steps. If you open two envelopes and put one inside the other one like that, and glue it down in there, and then glue this onto the back, then you'll have what I've got here. And then I just glued these down so that that would be double strength. And I did my Mod Podge stuff on the outside of it. And that's how I got to this point. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and glue this down on here. And then we will let that dry, and then we will glue it down on this side, and then we will glue in here, and we will have a pocket we can open and shut. And if you want to sew it all, I like the look of the sewn one, but I want to show you you can do this even if you don't have a sewing machine. So I'm going to go ahead and put the glue. And you want to use maybe a little bit more than you would if you were gluing paper on here, because the fabric kind of soaks in some of the glue. But you don't want enough to make a huge mess. Okay, and then I'm going to take this Well, let's start with that side because it's cleaner. No, I probably ought to save the clean side for the second one because it'll be a little harder. And we're going to just put it on here. And you want to leave a little bit of space between your, where your zipper is and the paper, because if you don't, it won't unzip. And I might should have left a little bit more. Okay. So now I've got it on the front, and then we're just going to do the same thing to the back. Like this. Just bring it over and glue it down. Now this zipper in the way makes it a little bit harder to get this on there. So you need a glue that will kind of tack down pretty quickly. Tacky glue or Fabri-Tac probably will work. I like this art glitter glue, and so that's what I'm going to use. And it probably would have been smart, but I just now thought of it, to let that dry a little bit first. When I did the other one, I had sewn the other side, so I didn't have to worry about the other side. And I'm just pressing it like that, and then I'm going to go in here and make sure that it didn't glue itself to the other envelope, and it didn't. That's good. And I'm going to open this and lay them down and just kind of press inside. And that's what it looks like from the inside. I don't know if you can see it. The second side is not as close as the first side was. And that's good because you need a little extra room. I should have left a little more room, I think, on the other side. But anyway, hopefully it'll still work. Now I'm going to let it dry. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and glue these. And then we'll let the whole thing dry, and I'll come back and show you if it works or not. Excuse me. Okay, now we're just going to let it stand right there. And we're going to let it dry, and I'll be back. Okay. Now I've let it dry. It's probably really needs to go ahead and dry overnight, but I wanted to get this video done. So this is what it looks like. And if we unzip it, we can open it up. I'm going to be kind of gentle about it at the moment, but you could use this for whatever you use something like this for. I don't know what. I'm not even sure what I'll do with it, but I just wanted to try the idea. And I decided I'm going to decorate it just with a stencil. This is Americana Classic Stencil. Let's see if I get the thrift store label off of it. I can see which one it is. Maybe. Jacobean Floral. Jacobean Floral. TS08. And I got it at the thrift store, so I don't know if it's even available to buy anymore. But anyway, I thought it was pretty. Cost me $1, so anything that costs me $1, I'm happy with. Now I'm trying to decide. I think I may just do this because that'll, I think, set steel better than if I tried to put it up there. So we're just going to do this. And I'm just going to use my archival ink, red archival ink. I don't think I've actually ever tried to stencil with like this. So we'll see how it works. I'm sure people do this all the time. I just haven't. Okay. Oh, that looks pretty. I like it. I'm happy with that. I don't think I'm going to do the back. I'm just going to be happy with that. So you can, with a couple of envelopes, an old zipper, and some glue, and a stencil, and ink, adding on to the list, you can make a little pouch to do whatever you want to with. So I hope you enjoyed this short little video. Get out some envelopes and play. God bless you. Bye-bye.